Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Monday Musings-Danny SportsWrap. It's brought to you by Dillon's Heating and Cooling. Go see Jeff and his fine crew at Dillon's Heating and Cooling and get all your help for HVAC stuff. In the summertime, of course, that's mainly air conditioning. In the wintertime, that's your heating. He's got all the answers. They treat you like family, as their slogan says. Tune in to the commercial just coming up here in a couple minutes and get all the details you need from Jeff Dillon and Dillon's Heating and Cooling. Well, you get the pleasure of going on a little day in the life journey with me and a little bit with my wife as well, as sports was part of this weekend and part of this Sunday, but it wasn't completely it. There were a lot of triumphs. There were a lot of disappointments. Saturday, the NBA Finals pushed Milwaukee to the brink of a title for the first time since the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a Buck and Oscar Robertson days. And of course, if the Suns are able to turn it around and upset the Bucks on Tuesday in Milwaukee and then go back to Phoenix and win it, that would be the first time they ever could do that. And then on Sunday, it was a chock-full day for me and for my wife, and it was really focused on us again trying to root Louis Oosthuizen across the finish line in a major, and of course that would end up in disappointment. And we did it in two parts, but indeed, there was a lot of fun to be had, and it was still a great performance by Colin Morikawa, and Jordan Spieth made a run, and Jon Rahm, if he could have made a putt, could have shot who knows how low, and maybe won another major after the U.S. Open. And then my wife and I I worked out for a long time until Louis got in big trouble at the seventh hole and got in the bunker, and we kind of knew that we were headed to disappointment, but we broke it off at that point. I went out and dug up a rose bush, and then we went to the plaza and had a great time down there for lunch. And then we came back and finished off the the British Open, or the Open Championship as it's known now, and should be known now. That's what they want it to be called. And indeed, it was Colin Morikawa's coronation, and we got no miracle for Louis. And then I watched the men's national game, soccer game as well. So it was a chock-full day. We'll talk about that. Yes, we have to visit with the Thorny Royals. That goes in keeping with the rose bush I dug up yesterday. And the Royals, however, have played themselves into not even being part of the first segment of Monday Musings-Danny SportsWrap, which comes your way next, right here, and it's always brought to you by Dillon's Heating and Cooling.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Time to spend a few minutes with my good friend Jeff Dillon from Dillon's Heating and Cooling. And Jeff, what differentiates your company from others in the industry?
Plain and simple, we're honest. We have integrity, and we're going to do things right the first time. There's way too many companies out there that lie, cheat, hide things from the homeowner or customer, and we're not about that. It's kind of funny sometimes. I actually am so honest with some people, it kind of surprises them, but sometimes it's good for business, sometimes it's bad for business, but ultimately it's the kind of business that I want to run, is an honest one.
And that family way of treating things is part of your slogan, and it's also part of one of your great features that you offer to customers.
Our slogan is like family. Our most popular maintenance plan is called the Family Plan. It's very similar to a lot of ones out there. The little tweak that we do to ours, 1% off for every 2 years. They have a continued maintenance plan with us. If they have a maintenance plan for 10 years, then we give them 5% off. No questions asked.
You can find out more about Dillon's Heating and Cooling and all their great range of services at dillonsheatingandcooling.com. That's Dillon's with an S. The phone number, 913-214-1343. Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Vision's goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600-6300. Let's have a brief conversation with David Schmidt from Pro Millennial. David, What differentiates you from other financial organizations?
I would say the passion we have for seeing our clients succeed is probably paramount to what we do here. There's no joy greater than watching a client accumulate wealth. I had a client that I've had for many years was able to buy his dream warehouse. Nothing too extravagant, but we had a savings plan in place and was able to see him fulfill his dreams.
And what else motivates you in this industry?
Well, lately it's been finding out inconsistencies in the marketplace, ferreting out some more than questionable ideas out there that what we're seeing with Bitcoin and a few of these other cryptocurrencies right now. I'm in the opinion where if it's untraceable, it really needs to be regulated in a big way right now.
To get more information and advice from David, visit promillennial.com or call 816-221-7775. That's 816-221-7775. We're here once again with Dr. Brad Woodle from Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. Springtime, good weather's finally here. People want to stay active, and it's your job to make sure that they can stay active, and be healthy.
Danny, we see a lot of not just weekend warriors, but people that every day are having that want to get back to activity. Whether you're starting with walking, jogging, or maybe that first 5K of the year, we want to help you out. We specialize in taking care of all ages, from kids all the way to grandmas and grandpas, but absolutely specialize in getting you back to full function and keeping you in great shape.
So in short, how do we go about doing that?
The first thing is to schedule a consultation with one of our doctors and therapists so we can see how you move and how you're supposed to move. Based on our assessment, we can put together a short treatment plan and a set of goals to help you both feel better, function better, and most importantly, stay better for this year and many years to come.
Learn more at asfca.com/Danny. That's asfca.com/Danny. If you'd like to join these and other great sponsors and market your business to a growing and engaged audience, contact us at Danny@DannyKlinkscale.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Welcome back, and yes, I was up and at 'em and ready to make sure I got a few things done before the 8:35 tee time for one Louis Oosthuizen, leading a major again. He led where he was in contention at the PGA. He was in contention at the U.S. Open. He would finish second in both. He probably could have played a little bit better in both. He probably could have won both, but he didn't, and my wife's a big fan of Louis. That is, I like Louis anyway, but that's made me a bigger fan, so now we root for him. But she was almost crestfallen at the prospect of having to try to root for Louis again, and of course it would not go Louis's way. But we watched our dose one of it. She up in the kitchen, me down in the gym, until the seventh hole where Louis got bunkered twice, and really his tournament sort of came to an end there. He could have still rallied, but we knew as a couple that we were in trouble then, so it was time for me to do a little yard work. Our rose bush in front of our house had gotten diseased, and I didn't really know if I was going to be able to get it out of the ground. But I did somehow. It took about an hour. The real problem with digging a rose bush out of the ground is the fact that you just can't, once you get a good dig in there, you can't grab it by the top and rip it out of there because there's thorns all over the place, and even the gloves I have don't do any good with those. So anyway, that was done. Then I took a shower, and we went down to the plaza, and we went to Brio, and it was just a fabulous time. The weather was beautiful. We sat outside. It wasn't really that busy down at the plaza. There was some nice people watching going on. There was a little bit of music playing from across the street. Wasn't really the kind of music we would have loved, but it wasn't off-putting, and it was all right, and it was fun to have some music going, and Brio was fantastic, and I had an unbelievable, I said to my wife, this might be the best lunch I ever had, as I had a spicy shrimp and fried eggplant appetizer, which really was more like a full meal, and some lobster bisque, and my wife had a salad that she absolutely loved, and we just had a wonderful time of it. But we were all worn out when we came back from that lunch, and so she went up and slept for a while, and I went down in the big vibrating chair and watched the Royals and dozed off, and they were certainly doze-worthy again, and we'll check up on that a little bit later on as we went into our nap time in the afternoon, kind of knowing that our dream of having Louis bounce back and win the championship was probably a bit of a far-fetched one. So when we reconvened about 6 o'clock and slapped on the old DVR, we were just kind of hoping, but really knowing that it probably wasn't going to happen, and it wasn't going to happen in part because Louis wasn't very good. And in part because some other people couldn't quite do it. Jon Rahm, who shot 66 on the day, could have shot 62, 63, 61. He hit it inside 15 feet all day long, could hardly make a putt, but still stuck in there and made a big run on the back nine. But it was all about Collin Morikawa playing just his 8th major and playing his first Open Championship. He was just absolutely electric. This is a guy who everybody knows is a fantastic ball striker. He's an incredible iron player. He's got all kinds of composure. He seems to be able to focus on each individual shot unto itself, and he does it in a cool way, and it's not like the lengthy and ridiculous conversations that Jordan Spieth has with his caddy, Michael Greller. But those two, Collin, and this is how sort of under the radar, his caddy's name is JJ, I believe, and they are a great team, and JJ actually was a 2-time national champion in Division II in golf, and they team up beautifully. But the one thing that makes the difference, and some players, unfortunately, like Louis Oosthuizen, probably don't react to the pressure as well as they do when they're playing without that pressure. I mean, Louis Oosthuizen played spotless golf for 36 holes, and he would finish the last 3 majors of the year with top 3 finishes. I mean, hardly anybody's ever even done that. But he doesn't get the hardware, and some people elevate their game, and it seems that Collin Morikawa is that. He hits the ball the same way he always does, and yesterday, this is a guy who's ranked 124th in putting on the PGA Tour, and he was first in strokes gained putting in the Open Championship and made some monstrous putts. Not monstrous in length, but monstrous in importance. 15, 18-footers for birdie at clutch times, big par save on the back nine. He didn't make a bogey all day long. A just stylish and perfect 66, and he finished at 15 under. Now, he had to fend off Jordan Spieth, and Spieth got himself in trouble early with a couple of bogeys, but then he started, as is his wont, to make everything he looked at short, long, in between, and if not for an extremely sloppy finish on Saturday, where he made bogey from 60 yards on the 17th hole and then 3-putted the 18th hole, missing a putt that was probably 1.5 feet, maybe not even 2 feet at the very longest at the last, and that ended up being the difference in shots that he had between he and Morikawa. But in the end, Morikawa got to make the great walk down 18 without the stress and the pressure and win his second major in just 8 starts, and only one other person has done better than that, and that's Gene Sarazen back in 1934, winning in his 5th start, his second major, and he joins the likes of Bobby Jones, and that's even better than Tiger Woods. And Morikawa certainly appears to be the type of person who can rack up the majors, but you really just never know. What were we saying when Jordan Spieth won 4 of them in rapid fashion back in 15, 16, 17? People were talking about maybe double digits, maybe, running after Tiger Woods, and he hasn't won one since. He's back playing great golf, but there's no guarantees of that. Jon Rahm looks like somebody who has now found a place where he'll win multiple majors, but there's just a lot of guys around who can do it. And so do I think that Collin Morikawa has 4 or 5 in him? Yeah, yes, but I'm never going to predict that somebody will win more than 4 or 5, and somebody may go out and do it. Brooks Koepka may be done winning majors. You just never know. He's got 4, and that may be it for him. It's just so hard to do, so hard to get after that, and only a handful of people have gotten past 3 or 4 majors. Maybe 10, 15 golfers have done that. And it's really, really a difficult thing to do. But Morikawa, at age just 24, certainly has the head on his shoulders, the game, and everything else as far as that is concerned to get the job done. And that really certainly is absolutely an incredible accomplishment for him. Was there disappointment in the Clinkscale Siemens house? There certainly was, as we rued Louis' demise again, but all credit to Collin Morikawa. The day finished off, as I said, on Sunday with a viewing of the U.S. men's national team in their Gold Cup game against Canada. Great atmosphere in a sold-out Children's Mercy Park. Almost 20,000 fans there, some Canadians, but obviously a lot of American fans rooting the team on, and it was a heck of a show. The United States scored just 20 seconds into the game, and and in some ways in soccer, football, as it's called in most places, but and even by most players here, really. But soccer in this country, anyway, sometimes it takes away from a performance of a team, and it certainly did. The U.S. scored that goal, then they played well for a little while longer. But after that, Canada just dominated the game. And for the United States to hang on and win that one 1-0 was almost miraculous, really. I mean, Canada had an unbelievable amount of pressure. The United States had 5 out of the first 6 shots in the game, but the shot total ended up being 14-6 in favor of Canada. They constantly had good break opportunities. They really didn't end up with that many fantastic scoring opportunities that required great saves, but in the end, the U.S. prevailed. That means they win their group stage. That makes it a little bit easier for them. As far as trying to win the Gold Cup is concerned, it probably means it means that they will avoid Mexico, who won yesterday as well and are at the top of their group. So the only time they could play Mexico is in the Gold Cup final. And this was a team that was really a second-choice team. They wanted to see some other players. Certainly there were fun players to watch and great players out there. Gianluca Busio started the last 2 games, and maybe the last 2 games that people at Children's Mercy Park will get to see him play, because it seems like he's set to be heading off to Italy for $5+ million for Sporting, maybe before Sporting plays another game. All kinds of reports that he's headed to Italy for this season. But anyway, he played a part in the first goal, and he played well in this particular tournament. It looks like he may get himself a spot on the full national team, which will be going into qualifying after this Gold Cup. But really fun scenes at Sporting Kansas City at Children's Mercy Park, and great entertainment for the fans. And Canada certainly looks like a dangerous team in the rest of this tournament, as the Gold Cup will continue, and that will be played at AT&T Stadium for the semifinal and final stages as well. But the U.S. with a somewhat unlikely 1-0 victory, but it was an exciting game to watch, an exciting afternoon in the sunshine for the fans at Children's Mercy Park. So there's a little wrap-up of my Sunday. Not entirely done, to tell you what, because we have to cover the Kansas City Royals. And as I said, they've played their way to Block 2 of Monday Musings-Danny SportsWrap. And heck, the way they played this weekend, I don't even know if they hardly deserve that. But we'll talk about the Royals, the NBA, and a little bit more. Coming up next, right here on Monday Musings, it's Danny SportsWrap. It's presented by Dillon's Heating and Cooling.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
I'm here with Joe Spiker, owner of Easton Roofing, and boy, we had to negotiate a million things in 2020, but Easton Roofing navigated them all. As 2021 rolls out, what should we expect this coming storm season?
Well, Danny, it'll be the same thing as it is every year. The storms come, and you've got the guys out knocking on doors offering quote-unquote free inspections. Be wary as a homeowner. If somebody's knocking on your door, they probably need the work, and if they need the work that bad, they may be willing to do something untoward to get it. So if somebody knocks on your door, says they want to give you a free inspection, just tell them have a great day and give us a call. We'll come out for free and give you a good, honest opinion as to whether or not you need to do anything at all with your roof.
And what's the best way to get in touch with Easton Roofing?
You can always find us online at eastonroofing.com or give us a call at 913-257-5426.
Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
Hey everyone, this is Matt Llewellyn for the 23rd Street Brewery. Thank you so much for supporting local restaurants, especially through this pandemic. And you know what? We're almost through it. At the 23rd Street Brewery, we have brought in a few more tables. You can wear a mask if you want, or not. It's your choice. Other than that, we're open 11:30 every single day. So come see us at the 23rd Street Brewery in Lawrence.
We're here with Michael Barber, the CEO and founder of Microlight Corporation of America, the world leaders in laser therapy. And Michael, tell us a little bit about your product.
Our device is using a particular wavelength and power to reduce pain and swelling. My background is surgical lasers, but I've been involved with this particular device now for about the last 20 years, actually.
And I know that it works because I've had it
There you
used
go.
on me as well. And tell us about the relationship you have with your company and Canaway.
It's what I call a strategic business relationship in that Canaway, the leader in the field of the cannabinoid systems and CBD oil, but our device used in conjunction with Canaway CBD oil gives a better pain relief outcome for the patient.
And if you want to get that pain relief outcome like I did, you can reach their local representative, Sherry McCants, at 515-208-6312. That's 515-208-6312. Most of us have experienced auto accidents, and it's no fun. And even less fun is trying to work on the insurance aspects afterwards and getting full value after an auto accident. I'm here with David Cowan from WreckExpert.com. And David, you have an unusual and important niche for people after an auto accident.
We have a passion to teach car wreck clients what they deserve. Getting your car repaired only fixes the damage and the paint. Getting paid for your car's loss in value is called diminished value. Chances are you've never heard of this before because most people aren't looking out for you. We help people collect thousands to tens of thousands of dollars for their car's loss in value after the wreck.
And if somebody wants to come to you for that, what's the original assessment cost them?
We offer a free review of any insurance claim to see how we can help.
You can't beat that. Great expertise and assistance in getting full value after an auto accident from David Cowan. Visit RecExpert.com and learn more.
If you'd like to join these and other great sponsors and market your business to a growing and engaged audience, contact us at Danny@DannyClinkscale.com. Look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back, and really all you can kind of say about the Royals is ugh. I mean, really, the Royals come off the All-Star break. Obviously, things have gone dreadfully. Pick your length of losing streak that you want to just go back whatever point in the calendar you like ever since the Royals went 16-9, and you can find some kind of bad streak if you want to. They have 4 losing streaks or 5 or more this year. They've lost 11 games in a row, and they've really kind of looked bad doing it. And this weekend, they bring in a Baltimore Orioles team that had won all of 28 games coming in, 28-61 coming into the weekend. So the Royals, provide a little glimmer of hope as they come out and rout the Orioles in the first game of the series. And oh, good, the Orioles are in town. You beat up on the Orioles. Maybe you get a little momentum going and a little excitement is created for the Kansas City Royals as the second half after a fresh start for the All-Star break and Sal Perez being in the home run derby and all that. No. Saturday, Brady Singer, supposedly part of the future, obviously, for the Royals, gets absolutely roasted by the Orioles. His ERA goes flying up over 5 as he gives up 7 runs and only records 4 outs in the game. And so that stinks. And it stinks not just because you go out and lose a game, and you lose a game to the Orioles, who can hit a little bit, but because it's Brady Singer, and because what you're looking for in this second half of the season is for the signs of the future to be bright for 2022. And we've already seen a couple of the pitchers of the future come up and fail in their initial try and fail pretty precipitously. And Singer pitched last year, and he's certainly showed signs of promise and signs of poise. But all in all, he's pitched all season long now, and his ERA is over 5, and that's not good. And then the coup de grace for the baseball weekend, to say the least, for the Royals, is going out on Sunday and getting shut out by Matt Harvey and a couple of relievers for Baltimore. Matt Harvey, who, of course, will always have a soft spot in Royals fans' hearts because he talked his way into staying into the game in New York in the World Series, and then Mets ended up blowing that game, and it was a key to the Royals World Championship, as Terry Collins was allowed himself to do what no manager should do, is change his mind because his pitcher stomps his feet. Well, anyway, Matt Harvey pitched 6 shutout innings yesterday, and even after he pitched those 6 shutout innings, his ERA is 7.13. He's had it. He stinks. He had lost 10 consecutive games, and he held the Royals to nothing. 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out a couple guys. The Royals look feeble against a guy who really, it's hard to imagine that he's going to be in the major leagues this time next year. And that's embarrassing. And the Royals continue to just do things that make you shake your head. They have a day off today. They head to Milwaukee. They'll be playing in relative obscurity because they had their game on Tuesday moved to the afternoon because of the NBA Finals. And then on Wednesday, they play in the afternoon again. And basically, we're almost. And then, by the time that the game on Wednesday is played, the Chiefs will be in training camp. And the Royals are going to be basically almost completely forgotten. And unfortunately, they've done that to themselves again. And the signs are not good. The only good thing over the weekend, and it was good, is that Hunter Dozier looks like he's starting to hit. And he had 4 hits. He had 4 of the 6 hits the Royals had yesterday. Only 2 other players had hits. But he went 4 for 4. He's got his average crept up almost to 200. That'd be nice. I'm sure it'd make him feel better to look up from his spot in the batter's box and look out there in the outfield and see a 2 in front of his average instead of everything else. But Jorge Soler came in as a pinch hitter. What did he do? Of course, he struck out. Whit Merrifield had a hitless day. He's been going relatively well, but some of the other guys are cooling off. Ryan O'Hearn, who's playing every day for some strange reason at either first base or DH or right field, and he's 0 for 4, and he's played virtually all the time for the last month, and he's hitting .213. Why? And the Royals sent a variety of pitchers out there, and even the bullpen guys gave up runs yesterday. I mean, it was just a disastrous day at the ballpark, and imagine you go out there and to the ballpark, for Sunday afternoon trying to have a good time, and you get that. No offense whatsoever. Every pitcher, basically, who walks out there gives up something, from Carlos Hernandez to Josh Stamma to Kyle Zimmer to Greg Holland. Wade Davis came back off the IL. Why he's still on the team, you can ask yourself. You can decide, whatever. At least he threw a scoreless inning, maybe makes him feel good. Seems like bringing him back off the IL and then releasing him might seem to be the better plan of attack for the Royals as they look to the future. But anyway, good for him. He's back in pitching, and he is one of the tiny little bright spots of the afternoon for the Royals. And as I said, the Royals unfortunately have played themselves into oblivion again, and you're going to try to look for the tiniest of bright spots, and what you want is for the players of the future to provide them, and at least it was Hunter Dozier yesterday, and the thing that made it disappointing on Saturday was that it was not. Brady Singer provided that. So there's your Royals report for all it's worth, as that was part of my Sunday too. At least it was incorporated into my day while I was sitting in a chair and occasionally dozing off, and that was a perfect way to watch a Royals game on a Sunday afternoon. Saturday night, however, was far more exciting, to say the least. As I know you've heard me say before, the NBA is hardly number one on my priority list on a weekend of sports, but they provided another game of rollicking entertainment on Saturday night. When I have watched an entire game, it has been great entertainment, and it certainly was in Game 5 of the NBA Finals as the Milwaukee Bucks moved themselves to the cusp of a championship with their 3rd straight win in the series, 123 to 119. The stars were out big time. Giannis had 32. Devin Booker had 40 in the game, and Chris Paul had a nice game, and Chris Middleton was his usual all-round excellent self with 29 points, and big contribution, to say the least, from Drew Holiday, who provided maybe the signature moment of the postseason, or at least this series, up until now anyway, as this was a seesaw, I said roller coaster, rollicking type of affair, as it was very close in the first half, and then Milwaukee appeared to take control, even though they're on the road in Phoenix, trying to become the first team in the series to break serve, as it were. But then here came the Suns roaring back, and it appeared like maybe they were going to come back and steal this one. Booker had the ball. They had the chance to take the lead, and he drove into the lane, swallowed up, and in a great play, it was Drew Holiday swooping in on him, stealing the ball, racing up the other end, and feeding Giannis for a dunk shot that sealed the deal. And the Milwaukee Bucks, who haven't won a championship since the days of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a Milwaukee Buck, have the chance to win the series at home on Tuesday. Of course, the old saying is that a series doesn't begin until a road team wins one, and that certainly has happened now. And this series, after a couple of blowouts early, has provided great entertainment. I've enjoyed it. I will be tuning in on Tuesday. There's going to be an unusual champion, whether it's the Milwaukee Bucks with the first time in about 50 years or the Phoenix Suns winning a title for the first time ever. There's been really good scoring. The teams have really dedicated themselves to defense. What I say about the NBA right now is it's not that they don't play defense, it's that these guys are so damn hard to guard, and especially with the way the rules are now, that you get high-level entertainment, big-time scoring efforts from the stars that are out, and all kinds of really good stuff. So I'll be tuning in on Tuesday. I don't know how many millions and millions are paying attention to this series, seeing as it isn't the Lakers or the Celtics or, well, heaven forbid, if the Knicks ever become good again, and they were obviously a lot better this year. But it has been an entertaining series, and it will be a full season, well-earned championship, although this season certainly has been defined by the incredible amount of injuries there have been to the biggest stars of the game. But another good one on Saturday night for the NBA, more high-level entertainment, and the Milwaukee Bucks can become champs on Tuesday. So there it was, a topsy-turvy, up and down, emotionally fun in some regards, emotionally disappointing, at least for the Clinkscale-Siemens household as far as golf is concerned, but some great performances, some disappointing performances, some flies in the ointment, a beautiful day on the plaza on Sunday. What a complicated and nice weekend. That's the way we like it. It's a lot different than when we were just stuck in our houses all day long on a Sunday and couldn't do anything and couldn't go anywhere. And yes, we still have our problems that are popping up now, and we hope to start to maneuver around those and not head back to where we were. But for at least one Sunday and one weekend, there was a lot packed in there, and it was enjoyable, even amongst a tear or two, a little bit of melancholy as we continue on Danny Clinkscale's Reasonably Irreverent podcast all during the week. We've got music this week. We've got Jimmy Nielsen is our Kansas City profile, the former Sporting Kansas City goalkeeper, on Friday. And there's always something going on at the Reasonably Irreverent podcast and patreon.com/Danny Clinkscale. And thanks for taking a little ride with me today as we had a fun weekend, and I'm glad you could share it with us. And so tag along the rest of the weekend all the time at DannyClinkscale.com and the Reasonably Irreverent podcast.
We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new. This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like
Dillon's Heating and Cooling, treating you like family with expert and affordable HVAC services.